is there not an agreement about billing prior to the process, right? So the way that it works is we say, we have this new case, we ask for a $5,000 retainer. Part of the conversation with the client is what we expect to use that $5,000 retainer for, right? So we will set up the pleadings, we will do A, B, and C. And there's a general understanding of what that entails. The problem is, in a lot of these cases, you can't predict what's going to happen, right? So all of a sudden, there's an emergency motion, or people are not complying with basic mandatory disclosure, right? Which is the financial exchanges. Then you have to file a motion to compel. You have to do all these extra things that were not originally anticipated, because we have no idea whether someone's going to comply or not, or if the other attorney is not acting reasonable and they're trying to run up intentionally your fees. So there's a lot of things that happen that aren't necessarily predictable, but we do our best to say, look, this is what we expect to happen. This is what, as far as your money should get you, but we can't predict what happens in every case.
In family law particularly, that people have fees that they didn't necessarily expect going into it is because the overwhelming majority of family law attorneys are charged hourly. Mm-hmm. And what that means is that you're paying for our time, so you may pay us a $5,000 engagement fee, and then as we work, we bill against that, and that $5,000 gets whittled down, or or we may ask you for $3,500 thinking it's going to get us a certain distance, and it just doesn't, because like Naz said, all these other things pop up, and we're billing for our time because that's how attorneys get paid. Now, I realize that people don't love the idea of paying for time, right? It doesn't feel the same as like going and paying for a burger where you get something in your hand because it's somebody's time. But the reality is this is our, it's our business. It's how we feed our kids and pay our mortgage and all of that kind of stuff. So with hourly billing, you're paying for somebody's time. So that's always been an issue. It's always been unpredictable for people. And we've always run into situations where people either cannot afford to keep us or cannot afford to hire us in the first place under that hourly billing. So the first thing we did a few years back to try to fix that or help people is we started having flat fees.
Yeah.
And we still offer flat fees to people, but the flat fees now has kind of evolved into something a little bit bigger. So through our law firm, not only do we have like regular hourly full representation, we also have, for most cases, some options of a flat fee that are available for full representation. But then we also now are going to offer other services, for example, like advice and counsel, where we can just advise you and coach you on how to do it yourself. Limited representation, like you could hire us just to review your documents and let you know feedback before you file them yourself. Or you could hire us just to attend mediation with you and see what we can do to try to resolve something. So there are all of these options through kind of through the law firm as limited representation and smaller fees for things. So what's cool about that is, you can call us and say, hey, these are the facts, this is the situation, this is how much money I have, and we can tell you what we can structure, like what kind of individualized plan we can structure, because maybe for you, the best plan is for us to draft your divorce documents for you, walk you through what the provisions are, coach you on the conversations to have with your soon-to-be ex. Maybe that's the best option for you. On the other hand, maybe the better option is for you to hire us or, to purchase some tutorials and forms from our online store that we're going to have, and then maybe pay for an hour of an advice and counsel to go through it or individualize it for you. So the online store, to be clear, where we're going to have courses and forms and tutorials, that's done through our separate business, not done through our law firm. And that's important because